ELT 115, section 2 on May the 7th. And I'm waiting for some of the participants to arrive.
Good afternoon, teacher.
Good afternoon, Daniela. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Pretty well. Can't complain. It's been a good, long but good day. All right. Hi, Diego, Jorge, Omar. Hello, Camila.
Hi, teacher.
Hello, how's it going?
I'm fine, and you?
Pretty well. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. We're going to wait a little bit for more participants because so far you are 6.
Hello, teacher.
Hello, how are you doing?
Kind of bad, but I can, yeah, kind of bad, really.
Hanging on there. All right. Life has been tough with you?
Yeah, I have been dealing with some stuff, and I hope that it gets better.
All right. All right. And are you alone dealing with this, or with your family?
And with my family and some friends, so I really have a really good supportive group. So
okay.
So yeah, I think it is good.
All right. It's good to have a network you can lean on, and that can somehow help you to go through some difficult stuff. It's always good to have a good network, right?
Yes.
Yes, it is. So far, we have 9 participants. I mean, participants, right?
How are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm all right. I was just participating in a workshop, because teachers, in general terms, are teaching a class, but also they are invited to meetings and workshops. So it's like ongoing during the all day. Sometimes up to 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's the way it is, right? It's been quite a busy period, and it will continue, as I think, for everyone, students and all people are working from home and studying.
Yes. Hopefully we can start with presential classes or doing stuff that we used to do.
Yeah, before COVID, right? It's going to be really interesting, because I know that I have my face showing you. I mean, I'm always most of the days you're looking at my face, but I barely know your faces, because you don't have pictures. You don't have any image, any picture of you. Or just big, for example, for Omar, I have a big O. For Daniela, just a big D. Jorge Diaz is just for me, it's just a big circle with a J and a D. And Diego for me is just a big circle with a D and an F. Because I don't connect a face with your name. I just, face and yeah. So it's going to be interesting for me to finally meet you in a face-to-face session on I don't know, in August. So it's like, wow, finally it's you.
That's correct. Right. That is going to be fun, really.
Yeah, it's going to be like that. Even in Zoom, sometimes people had like funny pictures of mice, lizards, clowns, all funny stuff, and it's going to be fun.
I have a cat.
You had
on
a
Zoom,
cat.
I have a cat with an 80s shirt and a Starship contest.
So that's the way I'm going to remember you. You see, So, so it would be interesting if you could try to use a picture of you or something to see your face, to see how you look like, because later on, I'm going to see you walking in the aisles or in the university campus, and I'm not going to say hello because I'm not going to know your face. All right, so I'm not going to basically
Don't
match.
worry. Don't worry about that. Next year you will can see all of one. Yeah, don't worry.
Hopefully not next year in the same class, right? That's not good.
No, that's not good.
That's not good, right? Natalia Gonzalez is asking me to join another session, but in this session we are already 16. So I'm going to invite her. Natalia, should be Natalia dot Gonzalez, right? Okay, let me try that. Natalia dot Gonzalez at alu.ucm.ucl. No coincidences. Could it be Natalia.Gonzalez.01? Do you know Natalia Gonzalez? Can you invite her? Anyone knows her? Does anyone know her? Okay, I see her at the bottom. Sorry, but I need to do this. I need to ask her to join. Okay, I'm calling her. Catalina Rosales, are you here? Thank you. Yes? No? Catalina Rosales? No, I'm calling her. Daniela Ibarra, you were the first student to arrive into the room. You're still here, right? Natalia Ibarra, are you here? Let me try with Gabriela. Gabriela, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Gabriela, do you remember anything about last session? Anything about last session?
I don't know. I
Okay.
can't remember.
Teacher, I remember
Yes, sir?
last session we was talking about the Diverson.
Okay, all right. We talked about triphthongs.
Yes.
And,
How to identify a Diverson?
The triphthongs, right?
Yes, the word have two sounds.
Exactly.
Maybe
Okay.
I don't know if I'm right.
Maybe you are. We'll see. Anybody
Yeah.
would like to complement the answer given by Dioli? Because in an ideal world, the students who attend a session, right, or go to a class, study what they did before the previous session, so they can, build from the previous knowledge and continue growing in terms of knowledge as a student. That's why I was asking you what we did last class. So Dioli says it's triphthongs. Okay, that's good enough. Let's start from that, and I'm going to share with you the presentation that we used for diphthongs. And if you remember, we talked about 5 diphthongs, right? 5 diphthongs. And a trick to remember them is that this one ends in E. A ends in E. I ends in E. Oi ends in E, right? A, I, oi, all of them end in the same sound, right? E. And the other ones, ow and o, both of them end in the same sound, short lax oo, right? Oo, oo, ow, o. So basically, you can remember the diphthongs, right? Because they 3 of them end in E and 2 of them end in U. And if you remember the 2 categories that we were using for diphthongs, right? Remember the diphthongs? We talked about 2 categories. This is the moment in which you say the categories, okay?
Closing.
Yes, closing and centering.
Perfect. Closing and so if you think about diphthongs ending in E and diphthongs ending in U, which one are they? Closing or centering diphthongs? Closing or centering diphthongs. What do you think? A, I, oi, and ow, and o.
I think they are centering.
Okay, you think or you're sure?
I'm not very sure, but I think that.
Okay, all right. That's fair enough. What about the rest? Do you agree with Yali or disagree?
I'm disagree.
Okay, you disagree. So you think they are
Closing.
closing diphthongs. Okay, all right, all right, all right. So I have 2 opinions. We need another one. So,
I think
well,
there are also centering.
you also think they are centering. Okay. If you remember the diphthongs and
I think
yeah,
that because the vowel sound ow is centering, maybe. I don't know if I'm sure.
okay, this is one trick to remember. If you see a, I, and oi, all of them end in the sound I. The short I is located more or less about in this section, right? I. It's like front and high, almost front and high vowel sound. And the sound U, as in ow and o, the last sound is located more or less here, right? In the high back section of the oral cavity, or in this vowel quadrilateral, right? And the other diphthongs were the ones ending in a schwa, as in a, right? Remember that one? And the schwa is located in the center because the schwa is a mid-central vowel sound. So the diphthongs ending in a schwa are the centering because the schwa is a mid-central vowel sound. So in order to remember, whenever you think about centering, think about the diphthongs which end in a with the schwa. Okay, so in this diphthong a, we don't have a schwa. In I, we don't have a schwa. Ow, we don't have a schwa. Oi and o, there is no final schwa. So these diphthongs are not centering diphthongs. These diphthongs end in E or U. So they are closing diphthongs. Okay, closing diphthongs. So the trick to remember which are the diphthongs, you think about all the closing diphthongs that you know, a, I, oi, ow, o, and you just add a schwa. That's the trick, okay? If you need to answer a question later, like which diphthongs do you know? Think about all the closing diphthongs that you know, right? A, I, oi, ow, o, and then you add a final schwa. Okay, and you get a, right? I, our, oya, ewa. Okay, and of course there is some aspects that I wanted to show you. Let me see if I can show you the website. I had a website open, Yes, this one. So the bottom, you can see a link, and I'm going to share with you the link right now. I'm going to stop sharing this presentation, and I'm going to show you the website, and I'm going to include the sound this time. Okay, right here. So this is the website. It says diphthongs and smoothing. Can you see it now?
No, I don't. I
No?
just see the presentation.
I can see it.
I see a web page.
Okay, let me try again. I'm going to try again, and I'm sharing the website called Diphthongs and Smoothing.
Yes, I see the site.
Okay, good. I'm going to try again, but this time I'm going to include this sound, okay? Okay, we have two things here. We have ow plus as in our, in this example.
Teacher, I don't know why I can't see anything. I just see the presentation of tourism.
Okay, let me try again.
Okay.
All right. Now I am sharing the website. What do you, can you see it now?
I just see the...
Yes.
I don't see it.
Solo veo la presentación de tourism. No sé por qué no aparece todo.
Interesting. Okay, I'm going to finish the presentation, and I'm going to share again the website. Okay, give me a second. I'm going to include the sound. Okay, now I'm sharing the website. Can you see it now?
Nothing.
No.
Nothing.
I see it.
I don't know why.
No.
Interesting phenomenon.
Yes, but because I can see it, but they don't. It's a website,
Right.
I
right?
can see it.
It is a website.
Sound.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
Teacher, can you try
I
to
can
move?
see it.
Can you try to move? Put your face in the maybe in the voice. Ponte, o sea, ponlo como tu rostro en la pantalla, profe, para ver si se quita la presentación que te hagamos. Porque solo veo la presentación de Turbison. No veo lo otro.
Okay. I mean, if you cannot see the website, I think we're going to go back to the presentation, because I don't see the point of trying to fix this if it's going to be like trying to fix it in for the next 10 minutes. So you can visit this website later, but basically what I wanted to show you in this website is that there's a phenomenon called smoothing. Smoothing is okay, let me okay, in a diphthong we have a combination of a diphthong and a schwa. So basically we have three sounds together, right? So for example,
now I can see it.
Now you can see the website.
Yes, I do.
What about the rest of you?
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Sigo sin poder ver la...
Yo tampoco. Yo tampoco.
Now I can
Okay.
see.
It's going to be a very quick summary.
Profe, igual yo puedo tratar de salir y, bueno, recargar la página. A ver si así ya se me ve lo que muestra en la pantalla.
Okay. Now, can you hear what I'm playing?
Employer.
Yes.
Yeah.
But very slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, very slow, but I can hear.
Yeah, now it's
Ahora puedo verla.
Okay, good.
Puedo cargar la página.
Player.
So the point is that in a triphthong we have a combination of three sounds, being the first two the diphthong, right, and the last one the schwa, right? Now this this combination of three sounds, as in our, right, it can be smoothed or clipped or shortened to just two sounds. Ah, as you can see here or here in this speaker.
Ah.
Ah, right? Ah. So he's not saying our, but he's saying ah.
Ah.
Another example.
Fire.
Fire, right? Fire, which is a triphthong, can be shortened to
Fire.
fire. Okay. Another example.
Player.
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 Player. Okay. I don't know if you can hear the speakers reading aloud these examples. Can you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, let me give you some context.
A seal's flippers resemble our hands. A seal's flippers resemble our hands.
So she says ah, she doesn't say our, right? She smooths, right? She makes the triphthongs shorter, right? Let's hear another example.
Somewhere where our lives matter. Somewhere where our lives matter.
Ra, 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 right?
Somewhere where our lives matter.
Where our lives matter, right? So it's not our, right? But it's a smooth version. Another example, the last one.
What kind of accent is that one?
Thank you for downloading this episode of In Our Time. For more details about In Our Time and for our terms of use, please go to bbc.co.uk/radio4.
I'm sorry. One last time.
Thank you for downloading this episode of In Our Time. For more details about In Our Time and for our terms of use, please go to bbc.co.uk/radio4.
Okay, so this speakers are not pronouncing the diphthong in a fully version, complete, our, right? They're not pronouncing the three sounds together, but only two. Answering Diali's question, this is what's called BBC English, right? BBC English or received pronunciation, okay? Which is basically what we can find the triphthongs as a form. Triphthongs are not so common in other varieties of English, but in a type of British English, okay?
It takes almost an hour to gather. There was a great fire that burned down the building. She's the best player in the team. She's the best player in the team.
All right, so I wanted to show you this because I know we have talked that a triphthong is a combination of a diphthong and a schwa. So eventually we have three sounds, but some speakers smoothed, right, the combination of three sounds, and basically the middle one is softened. It almost disappears, right? So the u, the e, right, may disappear for some speakers, right? And so instead of saying our, they say ah. Instead of saying I, they say a. Okay, a. Okay, so that's one interesting point because it might compromise the comprehension of a text. Okay, so to sum up, and I'm going back to the
Teacher?
Yes, sir.
We need to practice with that. Can you send it to us?
Absolutely.
But you're going to send it to the LMS or here in Teams? I want to download.
To the LMS, of course, to the LMS.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, teacher.
Alrighty. Another website that is good, a good website is the one that I'm going to paste in the chat room. Okay. Now I'm pasting the website because in this website you can actually find several examples that are good for you to practice not only vowel sounds but also consonant sounds and diphthongs and triphthongs, right? For instance, what I'm trying to show now is a website that's called tedpower.co.uk. Are you seeing a website now?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
No, not yet.
I can't either.
I cannot see you. I cannot.
I can't see.
This is interesting because you haven't had any trouble with the PowerPoint slides, but you seem to have some issues with the websites. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send you this link. I posted it in the LMS. Sorry, I posted it in the chat room, and hopefully you can practice on your own. This is the website. I'm posting it again in the chat room. Okay. Okay. So if you visit the website on the right, the website that you can see in the chat room, you will see that there are many minimal pairs that are related with vowel sounds and consonant sounds, right?
Teacher,
yes, sir.
I open it, but I don't have all of this that you have in your creams. Can I tell you that in Spanish or I don't know if you understand.
Yeah, I think I didn't
understand.
Okay, the last website is the one that had the pronunciation of the trip things. The last one, the one that says English pronunciation, Madrid.com, vowels, smoothing. That is the last one that I showed you. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to show you a PowerPoint presentation. I think that one seems to be working better. And can you see the presentation now?
Está cargando.
Okay, can you see it?
I see your picture.
Okay, let me try again.
Está cargando. Wait for it.
Okay, I'm going to start again. Okay, can you see the presentation? It's called Phonetics, the Sounds of Language.
Yes.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. In this class, in this session, we're going to start with. I'm going to skip some sections. We're going to start with. I think we haven't seen this one, right? Orthography. Have we covered this one? This slide? Yes? No?
I can't say anything because I don't see anything.
Yes, I can see.
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's talk about consonant sounds. Okay. Okay. Consonant sounds are produced with some articulators, but we have to remember that consonant sounds are produced using the air coming from the lungs and going through the vocal folds. The vocal folds, right, are these thin membranes, right? These thin membranes that vibrate when the air is going through. Okay, the opening can be, which is called glottis. The opening can be half closed, almost closed, right, and wide open, depending on the type of sound that we're trying to produce. Okay, so the air goes through the vocal folds, which vibrate or do not vibrate, depending on the sound that we're making. For example, if we're saying the sound s, and we're saying the sound z, in the second one, there is vibration of the vocal cords, and in the first one, there is not a vibration, right? The air goes through the vocal folds, right, from the lungs, and then it goes either from the through the oral cavity or through the nasal cavity. If the air stream goes through the oral cavity, we talk about oral sounds, right? Oral sounds. And if the airflow goes through the nasal cavity, right, we talk about nasal sounds. Okay, well, we're going to be talking about this later, but just as a brief introduction. We have to remember some of the components of the vocal tract here, which are the lips, the teeth, right, the teeth, the alveolar ridge, behind it, the upper teeth, the hard palate behind the alveolar ridge, right? Then we have the soft palate or velum, and then we have the uvula, right? And of course, different sections of the tongue, which are the tip of the tongue, the blade, and the back, which are here, right? Those are the main sections of the tongue: the tip, the blade, and the back of the tongue, or dorsum, right? It is very important to remember these technical words because we're going to use them to describe consonant sounds. There are 3 criteria to describe vowel sounds. If you remember, we used 5 to describe vowel sounds, but for consonant sounds, we're going to be using only 3. The first one is place of articulation. The second one that we're going to be discussing is manner of articulation. And the last criterion to describe vowel sounds is going to be called voicing, okay? Or if the vocal cords vibrate or if they don't. Okay, so let's cover the first set of sounds, consonant sounds. Hopefully we haven't covered this ones, right? Have we?
No, Professor.
Thank you so much. So the first group of consonant sounds in terms of, remember, place of articulation, it's called bilabials, which means basically 2 lips, right? Bilabials. And these sounds, the bilabials, are articulated by bringing both lips together, as when you say p, b, and m, right? When you say p, b, and m, you're using both lips, right, to produce these consonant sounds. And some examples of bilabials or bilabial consonant sounds are in the first column. If you want, you can repeat it with me, please. Pencil.
Pencil.
Port.
Stop.
Pat. Pen.
Excellent. In the second group, we have brown. Bang. Boy. Bat. Ben. In the last group, we have more. Mist. Must. Mat. Men.
Men.
Perfect. Perfect. In this course, we're going to be using phonemic transcription. Okay, phonemic transcription, which is basically using the same symbol, for example, p, to represent the first sound in pencil or the last sound in stop. If you pronounce the word pencil and you focus on the initial sound, you will find that the quality of this sound is not exactly the same as the one in stop. If you say pencil, 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 and you say stop, 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 are these two sounds exactly the same?
At the end, maybe, teacher?
The initial sound in pencil and the final sound in stop. In terms of quality of the sound, do you think they are exactly the same?
No, I don't.
They are not exactly the same, right? Because when you say pencil or you say pot, pat, and pen, the p is very plosive. The p is very, very plosive in initial position. But when the p is in final position, the p is unreleased. It loses the feature of plosiveness. Okay, so in this course, in the course called ELT 115, we're going to be dealing with phonemic transcription. Phonemic transcription means that we're going to use only this symbol to represent the first sound in pencil or the last sound in stop. Even though the quality of these two p's is different, pencil, stop, right? The quality of the sound is different. In this course, in this class, we're going to use the same symbol to represent pencil or to represent stop, the initial sound and the final sound. If we were using phonetic transcription as the transcription that you are going to be using next semester, right? In the first case, in the case of pencil, we should use the symbol a symbol like this to describe the initial sound in pencil, and to describe or to use a symbol to represent this final stop, which is unreleased. We should use a symbol like this. Okay, when we use phonetic transcription, we give more detailed information about how the sound sounds, right? So if we use this symbol, that means that the sound is more plosive. Usually, I mean, in initial position, this sound p is very plosive, but in final position, it's not plosive. It's just a stop sound, right? P. So this is how you describe or represent the final p sound, which is not so plosive, but it's only a stop sound. Okay. This is the phonetic transcription that gives more information about how is the quality of the sound. But in this course, in the course ELT 115, we are going to be using phonemic transcription. That means that we're going to be using the same symbol, right, for pencil and for stop, or if the p sound is the middle of a word, right? For example, sport, we're going to use the same symbol, okay? But the next semester, you're going to be using phonetic transcription. You're going to give more information about the quality of each one of the phonemes, okay? That's just to clarify the differences between phonemic transcription and phonetic transcription. Phonetic transcription gives more detailed information about the way the sound is produced and articulated. But phonemic transcription is just like the transcription you find in a dictionary. Okay, if you go online and find the phonemic transcription of pencil, you're going to find pencil with this symbol at the beginning. And stop, same thing. Okay, so these are the bilabial sounds, p, b, and m. The next group are called labiodentals. Okay, as you can understand, a labio comes from lips, and dentals comes from teeth. It's very easy for us because Spanish is our native language and it's based in Latin. So labio, we understand that it's very close to, you know, the word labio, and dental to the word dientes. Okay, but it's not that easy for an English-speaking person. These labiodental consonant sounds are articulated by touching the bottom lip and the upper teeth. The bottom lip and the upper teeth, right? And there are two labiodental sounds. We have f and v. F and v. Okay? So far so good? Labiodentals. Let's take a look at some examples. If you could repeat with me, please. The first set on the left, we have fence.
Fence.
Philosophy.
Philosophy.
Coffee.
Coffee.
Wreath.
Wreath.
Cough.
Cough.
All right. Anything that calls your attention from the section? From the column on the left?
What was the question?
The cough. The cough. Cough. The last
Yes, cough.
of the cough. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So anything that calls your attention?
Yes, teacher, because I was thinking cough is pronounced coffee. And we just say cough in this case for coffee.
Coffee, cough, yes. The first time, yeah, go ahead, go on.
I think the phoneme is the same as la F, la F como decimos la F en español.
Okay. Yeah, the symbol is very similar to the one we have in Spanish. Yeah, it's basically the same, right? Okay, anything about the spelling?
The second word, philosophy, it sounds like F, but it's not an F.
Exactly. The combination of the graphemes, the PH, and you get the sound F. Exactly. So you get an F, a sound F with the combination of two graphemes, PH. You get with the combination of GH. You get with the combination of double F. Okay. So spelling is not very consistent, right? There is not a one-to-one correspondence as in Spanish, because in Spanish we have this grapheme and we have the letter F, right? So, I mean, there's no other grapheme to represent the sound F in Spanish. But in English, we have this combination and we have this combination at the bottom. So alphabetic spelling in English is not very consistent, as you can see. Okay. The second group on the right, we have, if you can repeat with me, please, we have vat, dove, vice, diversion, vortex. Okay, alrighty. So these are two, I mean, remember that this is a labiodental sound. So labiodental. So when you're pronouncing this, it should sound v, right? As in vote. Like I'm not going to vote for this candidate. I'm going to vote for these other candidate, right? Remember that the other one is bilabial, right? For example, I'm going by boat, or I'm going on a boat this weekend. Boat, boat, vote, boat, vote, right? Because in Spanish, usually we don't make a difference between these two sounds. We say votar, voy a votar, and we say voy a votar la basura, voy a votar por un político, no voy a votar por un político. So in Spanish, these two seem to be allophones, right? Allophones. But in English, these two are phonemes. Because if you say vote, it has one meaning, and if you say boat, it has a different meaning. So these two in English are phonemes. They are different realizations, but they have they change the meaning of the word. But in the case of Spanish, if you say votar and votar, for me they are allophones, right? So far we have talked about the bilabial group and then the labiodental group. Okay, the next group of words is the interdental. The interdental, between the teeth, interdental. Okay, as you can see in the picture here, we can see the tip of the tongue being inserted in between the teeth, right? Usually the words that contain these two sounds, and the, right, are spelled with th. For example, thanks, thanks, right? Thanks. Or for example, the, right? The. So the word thanks has this sound, or it's described using the symbol, and the is described using this symbol. Do you know any words, any other words that may be pronounced with this sound? The sound represented by the symbol? As thanks? Okay. Any other?
Thought.
Thought. Excellent. Any other?
Thank.
Perfect. Do you know any other?
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Any
This.
other?
This.
This, all right, on this side, this. Any other?
Trust.
Perfect. The last one, please.
Those.
Those, all right. So the examples that I have here are mainly yours, right? We have thanks, thanks, thick, thought, thumb, path, right? And on the right side, we have then, that, the, those, and this, right? These are the interdental sounds, right? So to recap, we have the bilabial group, the bilabial consonant sounds, which are articulated by pressing both lips together, right? We have the labiodental, in which the sounds are produced by touching the upper teeth with the bottom lip, right? And finally, the interdental sounds, in which the tip of the tongue is inserted in between the teeth, okay? The tip of the tongue is inserted in between the teeth, okay? So this is something that at some point you are going to be asked to do. A question for a quiz, for example. Provide 3 examples of labiodental words, words including labiodental sounds and describe how labiodental sounds are articulated. Okay, so this definition here is going to help you, okay, to describe the sounds. Okay, and okay, and the
Teacher?
next, yes, sir.
I'm sorry for interrumpirte. I don't remember what is the meaning of articulator. What is the meaning of that?
You don't know the meaning of?
Articulator. Maybe, I don't know.
At the top, here, this one?
Articulator, yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All
What
right.
is the meaning of that?
There are three branches, three subgroups of phonetics, right? Phonetics in general describe the sounds of the languages, of world languages. Okay, phonetics is the scientific study of sounds in general in all the world languages. Okay, and there are three sub branches of phonetics. One of them is the acoustic phonetics, that deals with physical properties of the sounds, the sound waves that travel in the air and can be registered by machines and can be represented. They can have visual representations, right? The sound waves travel in the air, and there are machines that record them, and they can be studied, right? The auditory phonetics, which is main concern is to measure the perception of the sounds by the listeners. And finally, the articulatory phonetics, which is basically what this course is about, which is the study of how the sounds are produced and how these sounds are produced by our vocal tract, the mouth, the nose, okay? So articulatory phonetics is the study of how sounds are produced. You know, whenever you're saying, for example, how is this sound produced in English? When you're producing the sound, the initial sound in thanks, how is the initial sound in thanks produced, right? The first sound in zoom, right? Z, z. How is this sound produced? What happens in your mouth? Where is your tongue? What is your tongue doing? Is your tongue pressing the alveolar ridge, or is it curled, touching the hard palate, etc., etc., etc.? So articulatory phonetics is a sub-branch of phonetics dealing with the description of how the vowel sounds are produced and articulated. So what we're doing now is studying how sounds are produced. We are learning some concepts connected with articulatory phonetics. Okay. I can switch to Spanish for this one, right? I can switch to Spanish for this one. Dentro de la rama de dentro de la fonética como estudio científico de los sonidos de los distintos idiomas del mundo, hay tres subramas que son la acústica, la auditory y la articulatory. La articulatory phonetics es la que nosotros tomamos en este curso. El curso está hay cursos que están basados en auditory phonetics, otros que están basados en acoustic phonetics. Este curso está basado en articulatory phonetics, es decir, de qué manera los sonidos en el idioma inglés son producidos. El aspecto físico, el aspecto fisiológico, el aspecto anatómico de los sonidos. Para entender, por ejemplo, que cuando digo rato, y cuando digo right, el sonido inicial de cada una de esas dos palabras en relación a la posición en que está la lengua en la cavidad oral, no es la misma. ¿Y por qué no es la misma? ¿Cómo no es la misma? Ahí es donde está la descripción de cómo se produce el sonido. Entonces, lo que estamos haciendo y lo que hemos estado haciendo desde el comienzo es fonética articulatoria, ¿ok? That's basically the idea. Articulatory phonetics, because we have been explaining how sounds are produced in the oral tract or in the oral, okay? The last, I mean, not the last one, but the next group that we're going to be covering is the alveolar sounds. The alveolar consonant sounds are t, d, n, s, z, l, okay? And they are called alveolar sounds because mainly the tip of the tongue is raised and it touches the alveolar ridge. If you remember, this is the alveolar ridge is touching the alveolar ridge. That's why they are called alveolars, right? Because of the area that the tongue is touching. Okay. Now, these consonant sounds are not exactly the same. They are not exactly the same, as we will see in this short explanation, right? T, D, and N, for these three consonant sounds, the tongue tip is raised and touches the alveolar ridge. T, D, and N. And right, or ton, done, and none. The tongue is basically placed in the same position, right, in the alveolar ridge. Okay. For the sounds s and z, the tongue is raised, right? But the tip is low so that the air escapes over the tip of the tongue. So if you're producing s,
Parece que se cayó. Sí, se fue, se fue. Confirmo, se fue.
Espera, ¿se fue? ¿En serio?
Se le tiene que haber ido el internet o algo así.
A mí no
Porque
me
se le
parece.
pegó y se desconectó.
Se aburrió de que no apagaran el micrófono. Ah.
Ah.
¿Ya entró el profe?
No.
Juguemos un juego por mientras.
¿Quién se saca su pinturillo por mientras?
Parece que te
Oye, ¿quién
tengo
está martillando?
¿Nos jugamos su pinturillo por mientras?
¿Qué es eso?
No, he jugado pinturillo.
No, nunca.
Es como el.
Va a jugar
Como
un
el.
LOLcito.
¿Vaya a jugar un LOLcito?
No, no lo tengo.
Podría jugar un LOLcito.
Un
Podría jugar
arranque de
un,
ahí mientras el
un,
profe llega.
un TFT ahí.
Mire, yo le entro el pinturillo, pero si antes podemos... ¿Qué es lo que entra mañana en esto de la prueba de comunicación? También la van a cambiar por el cambio de tabla.
¿Cuál prueba?
La de comunicación mañana.
Ah, la de competencia, pero si la profe dijo que era la de competencia, la que no iba era la del lunes, que supuestamente teníamos la prueba del House by the
Del
Sea,
libro,
parece.
porque,
Sí,
claro, porque
porque
recalendarizaron y tuvo que mover todas las fechas.
sí, pero la
Entonces
de mañana
tiene
va sí o sí. La prueba de mañana va sí o sí, va a ser de writing y listening.
¿De qué listening day y el writing quiz en
De
competencia?
lo que hemos
De
visto.
la materia y los temas que hemos visto.
Eso.
De los estos
Así
de.
es, sí.
¿la prueba del libro va a ser como por LMS?
No tenemos idea.
No, ahí no
Porque
sé.
esa información no la dio.
Sí. Pero lo más probable es que no, porque ya hicimos una prueba con ella y mandó un Word nomás con una prueba, entonces difícil que usemos el LMS para las pruebas con ella. A no ser que después me equivoque y haga una prueba por el LMS. Uy, qué la razón, profe.
Es que por mientras juguemos una garío, weón. Juguemos una garío.
Sogario.
Sogario, ya. Espérate, aquí escribiendo el profe.
Dijo que tenía problemas con la conexión.
Chuta.
Mire que no se preocupe ya.
Tómese su tiempo.
Sí.
Bueno, voy a ver Instagram. Mermes.
Oye, chiquillos, por si acaso hay una aplicación de UCM y no funciona bacán.
Ah, sabía que estaba la aplicación, pero no la he descargado nada.
Tiene de todo.
Cabrón, ¿usted alguien de aquí sabe cómo hacer el tema de esta cuestión de esta cuestión de salud que tiene por medio de la U para buscar?
¿Qué?
¿Qué?
Porque me acuerdo que uno puede optar a beneficios donde tú podías ir con la U.
Me recaí, Teams. ¿El profe uno vuelve?
No.
No, aún no.
No sabía eso que había beneficios. Tenéis que llamar y preguntar, pues.
Que sí, pues que por ejemplo es que cuando fui a matricularme ahí estaban hablando, pues, estaban todos los puestos así de psicología, de nutrición y otros más que era como para parece que tenéis que pagar, pero te sale súper barato igual. Como para atenderte ahí mismo con la universidad.
Debe estar en la página de la U
Mm,
o en el portal estudiantil.
Ahí voy a revisar, a ver si sale. Vale, gracias.
Are you here? Are you still here?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Oh,
We
what
were
a miss.
waiting for you.
Yeah, I was trying to get back, but I couldn't, and my phone ran out of battery because I'm using a cell phone to get internet signal connection, and I had to find another signal. So that's why it took me a while to get back. So did you have a break or something?
We were like, what now? What about now? What we do now? We were waiting for that you can get into the meet again.
Right. But so far, how are you doing with these consonant sounds? Are they like very difficult? Is it clear for you? Is it complex?
It's a little complex.
It is like it's easy, but it's like a lot of the content.
It's a lot of information.
Yes.
A lot of information to digest. Take a look at the website that I'm showing you. Can you see the website?
Yes.
Yes. So this website contains minimal pairs for vowel sounds, for diphthongs, right? For consonant sounds, and for example, if you take a look at this one, right? We have, for example, the ones on the left are pronounced as in thigh, 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 and the ones on the right are pronounced the as thigh, 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 okay? Thigh, thigh, and then mouth and mouth, mouth, a noun, mouth, a verb, teeth, teeth, check out the final sound, right? Teeth, and then teeth, teeth, okay? Teeth, teeth, and teeth. So with just one sound, we're using this as a noun, and we're using this as a verb. In the next one, we have wreath, wreath, and wreath, wreath, the, okay? In this one, ether and either, ether and either, okay? Ether and either. So this website contains several good examples for you to practice. Sometimes, and that might be a mistake here, because minimal pairs basically are called minimal pairs because only one sound is different. As you can see, for example, in the first one, thigh and thy, we're using the same diphthong I, we're just using the initial sound different. Thigh and thy, right? So these are minimal pairs, yeah, because there's only one sound which is different. The initial sound is different. But in the case of, for example, this one, we have breath, breath, and we have breathe, breathe. So this is tricky because this is not a minimal pair. Breath, breath, and breathe, breathe has two different sounds, right? The same with bath and bathe, bath, and bathe, right? But anyway, this website is quite good to provide with examples. Another example that I wanted to show you is this one. S and z, s and z. So if you can repeat with me, we have sip and zip, sip, zip, sip, zip.
Sip,
Sip, zip. Exactly. Su, zoo. Su, zoo. Said, zed. Said, zed. We have seal, zeal. Seal, zeal. Check out this one. We have eyes, eyes. Eyes, eyes. We have rise, rise. Rise, rise. Okay, in the next one we have lies, lies. Lies, lies. Z, z. Okay, in the next one we have prize and prize. Prize and prize. Prize. Okay, so I think this is critical because we have this sound in Spanish, but we don't have this sound in Spanish, right? So, for example, it's not the same to say eyes than eyes, because on the one hand, you're going to be talking about yellow, and on the other hand, you're going to be talking about ojos. So eyes and eyes are critical for comprehension, right? For example, do you know the meaning of lies?
Piojos.
Piojos. And the meaning of lies? Lies?
Mentiras.
Mentiras.
Mentiras. So it's not the same if you're talking about piojos or mentiras, right?
Right.
So exactly. So there might be miscommunication. We can have communication problems here. The same thing if you say price and prize. You're talking about precio on the one hand, and you're talking about premio on the other hand, right? So this is critical, I think, to focus and practice, okay? So, for example, in the next one, dies and dies, dies. Grace and graze, okay? This is also funny, right? Because a grace is what we say, gracia. Like, for example, la gracia de Dios, God's grace, right? And graze es lo que hacen las cabritas, ¿cierto? En los cerros, en los montes, ¿cierto? Y están como pastando ahí, graze. So there is a huge communication problem if you're not pronouncing this and you're not understood, right? The next one, face. Face, exactly. Face. The next one, maze.
Teacher, I not understand the difference.
The difference is basically imagine that you have a bee in your throat, okay? A bee in your throat. Como si tuviesen una abejita en la garganta. So this bee vibrates. I mean, I'm saying this metaphorically, right? Your vocal cords vibrate, okay? ¿Cómo yo me aseguro de que las cuerdas vocales mías están vibrando? Coloco mi mano, la poso sobre el cuello, sin ahorcarme, por supuesto, y practico el sonido zzz, 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 y al hacerlo, siento la vibración en el cuello, ¿cierto? That's one option, that one basic idea that you can practice to find out if your the sound is vibrating or the vocal folds are vibrating. Okay. For example, place and plays. El sonido final de acá es que sería este de la izquierda. And el sonido final de plays, z, 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 sería el sonido de acá, de la derecha. Z, right? Which is exactly the same. Both sounds have the same place of articulation, right? Both of them are alveolar. ¿Qué significa que un sonido sea alveolar? The sound is
the same?
Yes.
It's like almost the same. But it has a different definition.
Right.
Alveolar
Yeah.
es que se pronuncian con la lengua levantada.
Exacto. Alveolar es que se pronuncian con la lengua levantada, tocando en la zona que se llama...
La zona que se llama alveolar. Alveolar.
Alveolar ridge, exacto. ¿Dónde está esa zona, esa que se llama alveolar ridge? ¿Dónde se encuentra?
Como el paladar. ¿No?
En el paladar, exactamente detrás de los
dientes.
Exactamente detrás de los dientes. La primera zona detrás de los dientes, correcto. Se llama alveolar ridge. Y por eso estos dos sonidos se llaman alveolar, porque se producen levantando la lengua y con la punta de la lengua tocando la zona que le llamamos en inglés alveolar ridge. Por eso son alveolar, ¿ok? Y son dos sonidos muy parecidos. Si hablamos en relación a place of articulation, both are dental sounds, right? Or alveolar sounds, sorry. Both of them are alveolar sounds. ¿Se acuerdan que yo les dije que habían tres criterios para describir los sonidos consonánticos? Uno era place of articulation, el otro era, the other one was manner of articulation, and the other one was voicing. Si lo traducimos, al traducir esto en sencillo, place of articulation se refiere a dónde se articula. Manner of articulation se refiere a cómo se articula. ¿Cómo se articula? Es decir, qué le pasa al aire que viene de los pulmones y qué articuladores lo modifican. Porque no es lo mismo cuando yo digo o when I say zzz, or when I say Okay. So these two sounds s and z are very similar in terms of place of articulation. O sea, se producen idénticamente, levantando, como decía, cierto, la compañera, la lengua y con la punta de la lengua tocando la zona llamada alveolar ridge. The manner of articulation is exactly the same. ¿Por qué? Recuerden que manner of articulation, manner se refiere al cómo se produce el sonido. ¿Qué lo afecta? ¿Qué obstruye al aire? Cuando decimos s o z, se produce una fricción, friction in English, right? There's some friction of the airstream. Entonces, este aire cuando sale, va con una fricción, y esa fricción la causa la posición de la lengua, ¿cierto? Entre la lengua y el espacio que deja con el alveolar ridge, okay? So the friction is caused by the tongue being raised up against the alveolar ridge. Now, what's the difference? Si tanto manner and place of articulation are exactly the same, the difference between these two sounds is the concept called voicing. Voicing se trata de si hay o no hay vibración de las cuerdas vocales. Okay? If the sound is voiced, it's called when there is vibration of the vocal folds. And if the sound is called voiceless, there is no vibration of the vocal cords, right? Vocal cords, sorry. So, the one on the left, does not have vibration of the vocal cords, and the one on the right, this one has vibration of the vocal cords, all right? So saying this in Spanish, voicing es el criterio que tiene que ver si hay vibración o no hay vibración de las cuerdas vocales al producir el sonido consonántico. Cuando producimos en inglés, no hay vibración, tampoco hay vibración en español. Cuando producimos hay vibración de las cuerdas vocales. Y esa es la única diferencia entre estos dos sonidos. Que las cuerdas vocales vibran cuando yo produzco el de la derecha. Y el problema es, you know what the problem is? That this sound does not exist in Spanish. It exists in English and in other languages. So we need to understand the sound and we need to be able to produce it, right? So if you repeat with me, with the column on the right, we have zip,
zip,
zoo,
zoo,
zet,
Zet,
zeal,
Zeal,
eyes,
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 rise,
Rise,
lies,
Lies,
prize,
Rise,
dies,
Dies,
guys,
raise,
Raise.
race,
phase,
Phase,
maze,
maze,
lays,
lace,
plays,
place,
buzz,
buzz,
Buzz.
knees,
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 peas,
peas,
peers,
peers,
fears,
fears,
lose.
Lose,
So the idea here is to understand that it's not the same when you say knees and when you say knees, or when you say face and you say phase. Okay, there is a change of meaning, right? If not, it's not the same to say rise and rise. Arroz y levantarse o elevarse is not the same, right? So rise and rise, it may create some communication problems. Okay, eyes and eyes. For example, if you say there is some eyes in my glass. There is some eyes in my glass. There are some eyes in my glass. Wow, that would be, it's like a horror movie, right? So you have to be very careful with the sounds, right? So we need to work on this. Zzz, zip, all right? So this is a website. Did I give you the? Yes, I sent you in the chat room the website address. Okay. Let me see another one. Okay, this one is not difficult for us. Okay, we have, for example, load and road, lay and ray. We have lies and rise, exactly, and land and rand, and lid and red, and light and right. And the last one,
light,
lights,
right,
and rights, exactly. This set of minimal pairs is not difficult for us Spanish-speaking people, but it may be difficult for Asians, right? Or, I don't know, Japanese and Chinese people who have some difficulties with the sound right? So it depends on the speakers, right? Okay, let's take a look at this one. So we have the interdental, the, and this one. How do you call this one? In terms of place of articulation, alveolar. Excellent. All right. So alveolar, D is alveolar, and the is interdental, right? So can we read together, please? Ready? And 1, 2, 3. Then.
Then.
Thy.
Die.
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 Thee.
The.
D.
D.
There.
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 Dale.
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 Breathe.
Breathe.
Breed.
Breathe.
Breather.
Breather.
Breeder.
Breather.
Heather. I'm sorry. In this one is Heather. Heather. Okay, so this set is quite interesting because we have the combination of this one, which is an interdental, and this one, which is an alveolar sound, right? An alveolar sound. And let us take a look at the last set of I think we already, yeah. Okay. Please, on your own, I'm going to be listening from wife until thief. Remember that these two exercises, these minimal pairs, are comparing the sounds f and v, okay? F and v. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Wife. Calf.
Carb. Dove. Surf. How. Leave. Five.
Breathe.
Safe. Thief.
All right, good. Just some corrections. Cough and carve. Cough and carve. Okay. Cough. Carve. Exactly. Serve and serve. Serve. Exactly. Half and halve. Half.
Es como que no se pronuncia la L.
Exactly. You don't pronounce the L. Exactly. You got it.
Okay.
So you say half and have. Exactly. That's right. The same thing. Same here. Calf, carve. Calf, carve. That's right. And in this one, rev. Exactly. Ref as in reference, and rev as in reverend, right? Okay, and then the last one, exactly. Rev. That's right. And the last one, thief and thief. Thief. Exactly. Thief. Okay. So that's another group of minimal pairs that it's very, very useful to compare. Okay, I'm going back to the PowerPoint presentation. Do you have any questions about the PowerPoint presentation?
O sea, a mí del Power no, pero de esta, por ejemplo, no me quedó muy clara cómo es la diferencia entre el D, o sea, el interdental, pero el D con el D. No sé, no sé cómo explicarlo, pero...
Okay. Are you looking at the PowerPoint presentation?
Sí, ese.
Okay. So on the right, we have the. Exactly. Este sonido es, se llama en inglés interdental. Interdental implica que la lengua está entre los dientes. Entre los dientes cuando digo, por ejemplo, then, that, the, those, this. La lengua está entre los dientes al producir el sonido. Ahora, cuando produzco este sonido, this is alveolar. Aquí la lengua va arriba, tocando la zona que llamamos alveolar ridge, que está detrás, arriba detrás de los dientes superiores. Entonces decimos, por ejemplo, dim, dots, date, dusk, design. En todas estas palabras, el sonido inicial es producido con la lengua arriba, en la zona llamada alveolar ridge. ¿Ok? Entonces, acordarse que cuando digo day, el sonido está como ruidoso, ¿eh? Ha estado ruidoso en la sesión de hoy, ¿cierto? No sé si la
no apagan
percepción de
los
ustedes
micrófonos.
ha estado como bien ruidoso, ha estado bien accidental la sesión. Me caí yo, he estado como súper ruidoso, como ha estado ruidoso, yo he tratado como de concentrarme, pero cuando hay harto ruido cuesta concentrarse y como que las ideas se arrancan. Y más encima si la tecnología no está aportando, la clase finalmente a mí no me satisface, y menos a ustedes, yo creo. Sí, entonces, pido las disculpas del caso y lo haremos mejor la siguiente. ¿Okay? Acá tenemos, we have day and they. Day and they. Day and they son pares mínimos, o minimal pairs, porque un solo sonido difiere. El resto es un diptongo, ¿cierto? A and A. And the only different sounds is the initial sound. Okay? The first sound in the first word, day, is alveolar. An alveolar sound. ¿Por qué? Porque al levantar la lengua y colocarla en el alveolar ridge, ¿ok? Tiene que estar, en inglés, tiene que estar la lengua arriba, detrás de los dientes superiores, tocando el alveolar ridge. Porque si ustedes toman esta letra, o grafema, usamos la misma palabra, día. Yo pronuncio día, ustedes pronuncian día y conversemos. A ver. Día. O dado. O ¿dónde? ¿Dónde está la lengua cuando pronuncian día, dado, dónde?
En los dientes.
En los dientes, ¿cierto?
En las paletas.
Como detrás de las paletas,
En el
¿cierto?
paladar, a mí.
¿En su paladar?
Sí.
Yo toco la parte de abajo de las paletas cuando pronuncio la D. De los dientes de adelante.
Sí, es como que está entre los dientes.
Entonces, si ustedes se fijan, el sonido para algunos es articulado detrás de la paleta entre los dientes de arriba y los de abajo, como en la mitad, otro en la zona como alveolar. Entonces, cada hablante articula de manera distinta.
¿Profe?
Me está y qué día se cayó.
Se cayó otra vez.
No, el profe se cayó muchas veces. Está sacando la chucha.
Pero que estoy grabado alto.
¿Qué están jugando?
Han pasado 84 años.
Así no se puede. Yo opino que vamos a tomar 11 y listo, y era.
Yo opino que vamos a bailar un cumbión y que denle volumen a eso nomás.
Hagamos karaoke.
Hagamos karaoke.
Ya, ¿quién comparte pantalla?
Israel.
Se está saliendo el profe, no puede ser. No, se está saliendo, no. 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 No.
Ahí van
¿qué?
mis buenas calificaciones. Allá van.
No, más encima tenía una duda que hacer el profe, que no entendía una cuestión.
Yo aún no entiendo mucho la diferencia. Sé que en una parte tiene que vibrar la cavidad, en la otra no, es como zzz, pero aún no cacho esa parte.
Ah, esa es con la esa.
Terrible.
Esa es fácil, es que tenéis que imitar el ruido de una abejita. Tenéis que hacer como hace una abeja, tenéis que hacer así.
Profe Rosa siempre dice eso
Ahí,
también.
ice,
Ah,
ice.
porque tenéis que ponerla así, como que tenéis que vibrar un poco así. Ahí. Yo la duda que tengo es esta cuestión que explicó al principio el profe, lo de uno que es como descrito de una forma y cuando es escrito de otra forma, pero el mismo fonema.
Es que, por ejemplo, podía escribir meet como carne y meet como reunión, ¿cachai? Y suena igual, pero se escriben distinto y significan otra cosa, ¿cachai?
Pero tendrían el mismo fonema.
Sí, pues meet.
Ah, y esa es la diferencia, claro.
Ahora suenan igual, pero que si le cambiáis por
Cambia su
ejemplo,
significado, pero no su pronunciación.
Ah, ya,
igual
caché, ya.
depende del contexto, pues, ¿cachai?
Sí, por ejemplo, no vas a decir en inglés, tengo que ir a la carne, ¿no? Pues vas a decir, tengo que ir a la reunión.
I eat meat. No podéis comerte a una reunión.
No, o sea,
Como
de
parecido
poderme
a
comer a una reunión, sí, me puedo comer a todos los miembros de la reunión y me como la reunión.
No, pero por ejemplo,
Me cagaste el chiste.
No, sí, ya caché.
el profe llegó.
Llegó el profe justo.
Ay, nosotros hablando un poquito.
Aquí viendo participantes de reuniones.
Menos mal que quiero comer reuniones.
Omar proba el tener.
Ok. Eso hace el hambre, ¿cierto?
Sí. Profe, que tenía una duda que estábamos resolviendo así entre mis compañeros que me ayudaron para resolverla, que era lo de que explicó al principio, lo de que dos fonemas, la distinción de que habían dos fonemas con una misma palabra, parece, con un mismo ruido. Que lo explicó casi al principio de la clase, que no lo entendí muy bien.
¿Qué sería la comparación entre la B bilabial y la V? ¿O puede ser?
No, fue que tenían dos, que tenían unos nombres, que no me acuerdo cómo eran.
Allophone and phoneme, or
Eso.
Los fonemas son sonidos individuales que digamos que son parte del inventario lingüístico de una lengua, y los sonidos son un número, cada lengua tiene un número limitado de fonemas. Es decir, en el español, por ejemplo, yo no puedo llegar y ponerme a hablar en español y decir ya el sonido, I don't know, el sonido, a ver, un sonido así, mira, que se llama click, ¿ok? Click, un sonido así. Yo lo voy a meter al español y me voy a comunicar con ese sonido porque nadie me va a entender, puesto que todos los hablantes usamos un número limitado dentro del código de los sonidos, ¿cierto? Propios del español. Y estos sonidos se llaman fonemas. Los fonemas son sonidos, ¿cierto? Y son representados por símbolos fonéticos. En ciertos contextos, los sonidos pueden variar, y estas variaciones de los sonidos no alteran el sentido. Por ejemplo, los alófonos o allophones son variaciones de un mismo sonido. el ejemplo típico, sencillo y fácil de recordar es si yo digo shala y digo chala, digo Chile y digo Chile, el sonido sh y el sonido ch, indudablemente que tienen una calidad acústica distinta, ¿cierto? Son sonidos distintos. Y cierto, y cualquier hablante de español puede decir sí, o el sonido sh y el sonido ch son distintos. Uno, entre paréntesis, se llama fricative y el otro se llama affricate en inglés. Y en inglés son fonemas, porque si yo digo show y si digo show, que lo escribí en el chat, ¿cierto? El sonido inicial es el único sonido distinto en esas dos palabras y cambia el sonido. Entonces, como cambia, yo puedo identificar que esos dos son fonemas en inglés. Pero en español, si yo digo Chile, si yo digo Chile, la gente entiende exactamente lo mismo. Entiende que hay una variación del sonido inicial, ¿cierto? Que tiene cierta característica, pero no varía el sentido de la palabra. Entonces, ahí serían alófonos, allophones. Y si lo trasladamos al inglés, si nosotros escuchamos a un hablante del inglés decir later o decir later, identificamos que t y r son sonidos distintos, pero entendemos que el significado no cambia. Entonces hablamos ahí de alófonos, allophones. ¿Ok?
Ya caché, ya.
Esa sería la idea. Entonces, cuando el sonido difiere en calidad, en ciertas características, pero no altera el significado en el contexto que está, se llama alófono. Y si cambia el significado de la palabra, hablamos ya de un fonema. Eso sería.
Ya.
Por ejemplo,
si son iguales, sería un alófono. Y si son diferentes, sería un fonema.
Claro. Si suena distinto, pero no cambia el sonido, el sentido de la palabra o el significado, alófono.
Alófono. Ya. Vale. Muchas gracias, profe.
All right. Questions? Any questions before we finish the session?
Teacher? I would like to know where I can find the PowerPoint. This is an LMS or no?
It's not yet. It's not yet there. I'm going to upload it now. I think I can do that now. If you give me a second, I can upload it right now, so you can take a look at it whenever you want.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. It's going to be okay. ELT 115, section 2, in the tab called classes. This is consonant sounds. Okay, so I'm going to upload it in the section called consonant sounds.
Teacher?
Yes, sir?
You didn't do the listening quiz today.
No.
There is a reason? No.
No, I think because of the problems that we had with but the listening quiz is there. If you want, you can take it right now. Would you like to take the listening quiz now? It's just 10 minutes.
I don't know.
Bueno,
no, la verdad, yo voy a ser honesta, se me olvidó que había listening quiz.
Okay. Okay, I appreciate the honesty. Yo lo tengo listo, llegar y tomarlo, pero dado que hubo ciertos problemas técnicos hoy, estuve más concentrado en, I was totally focused on solving these issues. And but the quiz you can take it now or you can take it later. And by later, I mean in the next 15 minutes, in the next 20 minutes, or you can take it on Friday. Sorry, not on Friday, on Monday.
Okay, no problem.
So why don't you take it on Monday?
No problem. On Monday.
On Monday, right?
Monday.
Everyone...
Yeah, Monday.
Yeah?
Monday. I prefer Monday.
Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me, all right? So respect... democracy, the majority of the votes. Alrighty. So I'm going to upload the presentation to the section called classes, and it's going to be in the second topic, which is going to be called consonant sounds. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So if you don't have any further questions, you can leave the session and you can check out the presentation now or later. All right. Remember that we left the listening quiz to the Monday session. All right.
Teacher?
Yes, sir.
Did you get already la calificación del writing quiz or no?
The grade.
O del speaking quiz.
And the speaking quiz too.
I'm working on the speaking quiz, and I got the ELT one. I got. Yeah, I have the grades for the writing quiz, but only in my notebook. I cannot. I mean, I couldn't enter the grades to the Excel, but I'm going to do that tonight. Okay.
No.
But I'm working on the speaking quizzes because it takes longer. It takes really. Thank you. It takes a little bit longer. All right. So thank you for bearing with me. Thank you for the patience. I'm going to be here. All right. If you have questions, otherwise you can leave, and I'm going to finish uploading the presentation to the LMS.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay.
All right. Goodbye. See you later. Alligator.
Bye
See you around.
bye. Thanks, teacher.
Bye. Goodbye. You take care. You take care.